Dat wat schuilgaat in de schaduw is in duisternis gehuld. Je ziet geen licht, geen hoop, geen uitweg, totdat iemand het onthult.
I am Alec. I come from Bulgaria. I was growing up in a poor family. My father was sick for so long in my childhood. Meanwhile, my mother tried to keep together our family emotionally and financially too, while she was dealing with mental health issues and depression herself. My siblings, my parents, and me, we all were in a survival mode for so long. So I had to realize in a very early age that I have to do something if I want to change for all of us. So I took the first chance and did what I can. I was 17 when I started to explore my sexuality. What was I hiding for so long because of guilt, shame, or expectations? I started to chat with guys online, in chat rooms for gays. And it was a new experience. I met with this older guy in secret. It was exciting, but at the same time it was terrifying too. There were like 20 years between us. After the first date, I told him that I don't want to meet anymore, but he didn't want to leave me alone. He tried to ask me out several times, and I told him every time no. He offered me money. So that was my first experience in an escort. It was a hard decision, but at the same time, that was the only way out for me. So I told myself that it will help you. You can escape. You can have a better life. And from that exact moment, I got trapped in that situation, mentally, physically, in every way. After a few months of dating with this guy, he found someone new and told me that I'm useless or worthless. But I can try to find someone new, and I did it. I hate that guy, but he showed me a way out. So I started to work as an escort, what allowed me to support my family and finance my education. Without the sex work, maybe I would not get into the university or have a chance to move on and leave behind all of this messed up home situation what I had. I had and I have mixed feelings about these meetings with strangers for sex and money. I tried to enjoy it, and I didn't want it to be just a business transaction, but it doesn't work like this always. I got hurt mentally and emotionally. I am carrying these scars with me. I started to disconnect with myself mentally and sexually, and I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. After a while in the business, I started to build a wall around my mind, my feelings, to protect myself. I used to be an easygoing guy who was joking around all the time, but all the things just changed me and my mindset. I became a depressed, bitter guy, and I started to isolate myself from everyone and everything. I had a double life, and I wore a mask for 24 hours per day. I was the perfect liar and pretend that everything was okay in front of my family and my friends, just to keep my secrets. But if I want to be honest, I felt deeply ashamed. and alone all the time. There were times when I shouldn't have to do it because I didn't need the money anymore, but I did it anyway. I don't know the exact reasons yet, but I guess I just followed the pattern and just accepted my situation, and I couldn't believe that I can make it without the escort work. Looking back now, I started to understand what I really needed in that time. I wanted someone to love me, to care about me, or just to understand me, or to be there for me when I needed. I didn't want to solve all the problems alone. I needed the attention and everything else what I didn't get before. But as I see, it was all fake. It splitted my personality more and more every day. And it just broke me in several ways. I lived in fear, and I was always afraid that someone will be figuring it out that I am working as an escort. I was always prepared for every outcome, but not for that what was coming after this. And that time I was working for the government. I had a stable, good job, but my secret came to light. Someone, I guess one of my ex-clients, wrote an anonymous email to my boss about the escort work. And to work for a government and to be an escort in my country wasn't allowed. So they fired me on the same day. And after that I had a weekend to figure out what will I say to my co-workers, my family, my friends. Everyone was asking me, why are you giving up something what you work for so hard? My secret wasn't exposed in that time for everyone, so they were confused. This man who wrote the email was just playing with me and watching me. And I think with that email, he got what he wanted. Because remembering back now, I knew that I did go back to that man for shelter. I had a mental breakdown, and for the next 2 months, I didn't even want to come out from his home. And finally, when I started to feel better myself and I wanted to do something, just not to be a shadow, I came out from his house for a weekend for group therapy, but he did make a move again. He sent a message to one of my friends with my nude pictures. So this friend called me on that weekend, in the middle of the weekend, and told me about it, crying. What was enough for me to go back that depressive, dark state of mind. So this man won again, because I called him to pick me up. I thought he was my friend who wants to help me. And but I was controlled mentally by him, and I couldn't see what's happening really around me, that he's playing with me. And he did play the game very well. He started to take care of me more, started to buy gifts, and try to find new jobs for me, just to chain me to himself. But the reality was that he didn't want me to get back on my feet again. At one point, when I wanted to give up, and I was completely burned out. I told myself that I have to do something if I want to get out from all this situation. So I left to the Netherlands. I wanted to leave everything behind and start fresh. I needed the money, so I made the same mistakes. I continued to work as an escort. I was a mess in the time. The people couldn't be around me. I just didn't know who I was anymore. I hit the rock bottom, and that was the point when I reached out for help. I ended up by the Haven. I wanted to find a new job and a new home. My job coach and my social worker by the Haven, they tried everything what they could to help me and to guide me, which was a turning point for me because I never experienced that much kindness and care from strangers who just want to help me. At the beginning of the process, we were just talking. It was a difficult time because I had to trust the people again and take off my shield, which made me much more vulnerable again. When I was ready, we were talking about lots of different jobs, what I could do, like working on a cruise ship or a job in hospitality, an IT traineeship. But it was hard for me to imagine myself doing these jobs because I didn't know exactly what I want. I never had the chance to think about my future or what I really want to do. So I guess I forgot my dreams, what I wanted in my childhood, and I wasn't positive about my future anymore. In the end, they haven't helped me to find the right workplace and a new home, so I can start to rebuild my confidence and to start to dream again. I think I am on the right place now, so I can feel that I can breathe again. I know there is lots of steps what I have to make, but I am proud of all the progress and what we made together with the Haven. And I am proud of myself too, because I did make these difficult decisions to change my life and to break those patterns and to not go back. As an escort, I felt alone, stigmatized, imprisoned. But now I can feel what it feels like to be free. I don't feel completely alone anymore. If you feel the same and you need help, don't be afraid to take the first step and ask help. And there will always be people around you who can help you or guide you on this road.